This is how I'm going to put a computer in a PlayStation 3.
Hey, welcome back. I'm here for another build. It's not a woodworking bow build. This time it's computer build again. I have an old PS3 that's YLODed a lot of times. I've fixed it each time. It's lasted about a year, but it's dead now. So all I'm doing now is putting, guess what, a PC in it. I have some new and I have some old parts in it, but it's going to be similar to the Xbox build. It should function like a PC, mostly a home theater build again, nothing high-end. Again, my budget right now, that it's around $100, so it's a nice cheap build, and it's something useful for a dead PS3.
So I went on Kijiji and I found this mini ITX motherboard. It was on sale for $50. I was able to talk it down to $40, which is great. And I'll just click on this. Alright, and we're going to zoom in a bit. So this is a actually pretty good motherboard overall. It has a LGA 775 socket, 2 SATAs, 2 dual channel. It's DDR2 667 megahertz. There's a PCIe 1 times express slot and a DVI output. So actually overall it's kind of almost what I was looking for. It's an older motherboard, but I did have an old socket that I could use for it, so it worked really well. So basically I got a low profile Roswell heatsink for an LG A775. It was only $9.99 plus $7.34 for shipping from Newegg, and it's actually cheaper to get it from Newegg on eBay versus Newegg the store, because then you have to pay a bunch of tax, etc. on top of that, so save some money there. So what I needed was a very small PSU, and found one at Tiger Direct. It's a Solid Gear Flex 270 watt. It's only $24.99 after the rebate, so you know what, that was one of the best prices there. I don't need a high power, again, I'm not putting a huge video card in there, so I also have a low power CPU, so that was excellent. This is all I really needed, and it fits really well when you see it in the case. Now it's time to gut it and get everything ready. I was able to sell the Blu-ray drive for $10, which helped with the budget.
Now, same thing in a lot of the builds you have to do with the Xbox and the VCR build. The main thing you have to clean out the tray, clean out the insides of the case, whatever you're trying to put in there, put in it. As you see, the PS3 base is very clean. There's very little. There were just some pegs and mounts for screw bolts and things like that were around here. Other than that, it's pretty clear there. The only other thing that I had to do that took some time was they have a lot of holes here, but unfortunately when they made the PS3 they covered up half of the holes. So to improve the ventilation out of this case, where I'm going to put some fans, I just took out some of that buildup that they put there, which really blocked it up. So that should improve the ventilation through the PS3. Now, one thing I've been doing usually with the standoffs and other plastic things and the partitions in the case that I have to do is I have to cut them out. Before in the Xbox I used the Dremel, which is very messy. A lot of particles are put all over the place. It smells quite bad. When I did the VCR build, I used a hacksaw for most of it, and that was good. It was slow though, and somebody else had suggested that I use some pliers. So for things like this, that I used to actually take an X-Acto knife or something like that to cut it off, or the Dremel to cut that off. Look at that. It just pops right off. Like now it only works for thinner pieces like this and for some, screw bolts and things like that, but that comes off really clean. And that's just using some needle nose pliers. For bigger areas that I had to cut through, like here and here, I started off the cuts with tin snips. And of course tin snips just go through that really cleanly, and then with the needle nose pliers I come back through afterwards and simply pop off the bits slowly, bit by bit, until I can get a nice big area cleaned out like that. And again, no fumes, no vapors, not a large amount of particles, and it all came out really nice. Alright, so this is the bottom of the top, part of the PS3 case. There's just a few large things that pop up here, some standoffs that come off of here, and partitions there, and those are easy. And again, I use the plier and some hacksaw method, but it came off pretty cleanly with mainly the pliers. Okay, and other than that, that's pretty clean. Like I said, in the PS3 there's not a lot in there compared to the Xbox case, so much easier to adapt. Alright, so here's the case. This is the back of the PS3 case. There are some issues with it. Like I said, it's very good and clean, flat, not much cleaning to do to get the case prepared. The only problem is this hole is very narrow. The top ridge here, this is where the top pops off the back. Again, it's very low. It's only a height of, the opening itself is probably close to about only 2 inches. So there's not a lot of height there. So when you're trying to think about putting a video card in the back, or audio card in the back, Ethernet card in the back, extra USB ports in the back, there's not a lot of space actually. You have to cut the card down a bit shorter, or else you'll have part of it popping out up here. So I did buy a cable so I can bring the video card horizontally rather than vertically, and that solves that problem. The only other issue is there's a good amount of height here, not a amount of height here or here. That makes the components a little awkward, so I did opt for a low profile heatsink. I could have put a slot load DVD or Blu-ray. That would have fit so nicely. It would have looked so cool of it popping in and out. However, you know what? Honestly, how often have you used a DVD? If I'm going to play a DVD for a movie, I'll put in my DVD player, because honestly it uses way less power and the picture is much better. Plus there's not really, how many times have I used it? Maybe once a year, maybe even less than that for a DVD player in the computer. So in that case I am not putting that in. Plus it's an extra $35 for a DVD player, and I think it was almost close to $50 to $70 depending on where you're looking at for a Blu-ray slot load. So I'm not going to put that in.
Alright, so this is where I got to put the motherboard in. So I take some piece of wood, cut it to size, epoxy that into the base of the case, and put the brass standoffs in, and there's the motherboard as a test fit in there. USB front panel, and I used parts of the motherboard of the PS3, the surrounding metal case, to make that little cover up. The PSU is fully removable. I made some brackets with some cookie tin again. Magical cookie tin, same thing. I used some wood for the hard drive, and there it is there all put together. And everything is removable. USB for the front, I had to just basically solder and splice together the USB headers to the motherboard to the front panels, and there they are. Hot glue gun for the cover up, just to keep it clean, and the on-off switch and LEDs. So I have the green and red LEDs in the front for power and hard drive, and blacked out with some so there's no crossover. And the switch, again, I used I made a cookie tin mounting bracket for the switch, and I put that in the flip up front cover. A PS3, once it's YLODed because of the heat, it's fun to create something new.